Hi, welcome to the Industry Astrology New Moon Forecast. It's a solar eclipse. The moon has been waning. We're in between eclipses. How are you feeling?
The moon is waning, and on March 29th from 1:50 a.m. Pacific Time to 5:43 a.m. Pacific Time, the moon will cross in front of the sun to form a partial solar eclipse and then begin to wax again.
Feeling ungrounded, uncertain, maybe ready to let something go, but not sure how, faced with changes. We're in the eclipse season and in between eclipses, and eclipses are times that bring monumental changes and transformation, opportunities to change on a deep level as well. So as you can see, I'm by the ocean, the Indian Ocean here in Kerala. It's the perfect place to be for this particular forecast because we're having a solar eclipse in the sidereal Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, the sign of surrender, of moksha, of liberation. And this solar eclipse coincides with a huge lineup, a pile-up of planets in Pisces. Venus, which is retrograde and exalted in Pisces, so strong, really looking into relationship patterns, into how you share, how you trust, what you believe in. And also Mercury retrograde, which has been muddling communication, travel, and also all sorts of things around the markets and insecurities around money and financial issues. Saturn, the great Lord of Karma, is entering this karmic sign of Pisces as well, just a few hours after the eclipse. So this is a monumental event. It's really a turning point that can be a paradigm shift on a collective level. I think we've been feeling it building for months now. And on a personal level, it can bring a liberation, a freedom, a cutting free of karmic patterns, especially involving perhaps financial issues or relationship issues. Now this is, because of this Mercury retrograde energy, it's been quite interesting. I've had to record this video now 3 times. So I've been using a new microphone and it's picking up a lot of ambient noise. So I'm just gonna go hide in my room and finish this forecast.
This solar eclipse is in the area of the sky called Uttara Bhadrapada, Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Uttara Bhadrapada is one of these, the fiery pair, Purva Bhadrapada being the other one, that symbolizes the end of life, the funeral pyre, and it is at the end of the zodiac as well, in Pisces, right before a new cycle begins. So Uttara Bhadrapada is the part where the ashes are placed into the water. It's connected to a Naga serpent, Ahirbunya, which brings in the water element. Uttara Bhadrapada brings in themes of surrender, of trust, of generosity, and knowing in a higher power, surrender, letting go. It is a real area where the karmas end, karmic ties are cut, and we are liberated. Venus, the goddess of love, luxury, and also creativity and art, she is a lot about how we enjoy life, how we spend money as well. During Venus retrograde, sometimes we have to review relationships, come back and check in on how we've been committing into situations, into projects, how we have been investing our money, spending or not spending on ourselves and others. Venus retrograde can be a real wake-up call. And it's a powerful Venus retrograde because it's combined with Mercury retrograde. So, wow, it's definitely bringing forward issues, maybe financial issues, relationship issues, especially how you communicate your needs, perhaps coming forward. And combined with the eclipse, all in Uttara Bhadrapada, where it's so possible to transform and let go of the past. This is a star also of forgiveness, but also of strong transformation. Then just a few hours after this solar eclipse, Saturn moves into Pisces. Huge collective shift. This is the karmic planet Saturn, who takes about 2.5 years to get through each sign. So this is setting a new paradigm for the next 2.5 years. And Saturn in Pisces historically is connected to times of very big collective consciousness shifts. There's so much that can happen on a very deep level too, personally, on a spiritual level. Saturn in Pisces is going to affect the oceans. It's going to affect also the waters within us, the emotions. And it does have a lot to do with how we work with illusion and what is truth on a deep level, what really matters and what we believe in. So this is such an amazing transit coming up with Saturn and Pisces. I decided to teach a special 2-hour live class on Zoom about some of the historical trends of Saturn and Pisces and what will come in the next 2 years with this transit we're going to experience. Especially on a personal level, I'm preparing Vedic horoscopes for all 12 Vedic signs. So if you'd like to find out how this Saturn transit is going to affect you on a personal level, check out my class. I will leave a link to register below. Another interesting thing about this solar eclipse is that it's also the last new moon of the year before the sun enters Aries. This, for Vedic astrologers, the sun entering sidereal Aries starts a whole new year. And we actually use this new moon traditionally to cast the charts of the whole year. We use this day to cast a chart for the capital city of a country to see how the country will do economically, politically, so forth. So I cast this new moon solar eclipse chart for Washington, D.C. The lineup of Pisces happens to be just 1 degree away from the ascendant in Washington, D.C. The height of the solar eclipse is happening just at sunrise in Washington, D.C. What that means is that there is a very transformative year ahead for the United States. Obviously, we've seen it building already, and the year to come will make deep and powerful changes within the country. And when Saturn enters into Pisces, so a few hours later, around 10:11 a.m. in Eastern Time in Washington, D.C., Saturn will be transiting through the 11th house. So what that means, the 11th house has to do with the economy. It has to do with also how the U.S. relates outwardly in trade, international relations, and so forth. And Saturn is very conservative to be moving through the 11th house. Trade is going to slow down. It can really slow down the economy, possibly, that's for sure, and create a sort of isolation. So I'm going to be talking more about this chart coming up at the Inner Light Jyotish Conference next week. Check it out. It's a free conference. I'll be talking about this chart and also be talking about Navaratri, which begins on the 30th of March, the Chaitra Navaratri, which is the inner conjuring, the inner calling forth of the goddess. Navaratri is literally translated as the 9 nights of the goddess. And so this is a time when the goddess's energy rises on earth, increases, and the blessings of protection, nourishment, abundance can be tapped into in a very special way through mantras to the goddess and other rituals. If you want to find out more about that, you can check out my Navaratri Cauldron. I am making it available. If you'd like to access the recordings and the meditations and the different PDF downloads and things that I've provided around Navaratri in that class, you can now access it. It has also the new dates I've put in there for March, April, Chaitra Navaratri. Excellent remedy for eclipses. Literally, the goddess is the demon slayer of Rahu and Ketu, Rahu being the one causing this particular solar eclipse. So it's a perfect counterbalance to what's happening in the world. Okay, let's just see what the tarot cards have to say about this upcoming new moon solar eclipse in Uttara Bhadrapada. Okay, so the first card that came through is the Hanged Man. Surrender, trust, letting go. Some things are out of our control now. It reminds me a lot of this Venus retrograde as well. As she goes down into the sun, it's said that she's dying. She's letting go of all her preconceptions around love, all her ideals, all the things that were beautiful in her eyes, to come to a place of surrender, sort of raw truth. And having Mercury retrograde there with her, very deep, powerful time. We can really access the subconscious here, the deep ocean waters of Uttara Bhadrapada. It's a star of sannyasis, a star of renunciation, and a star that really has a lot to do with this trust in a higher power, surrender. And the Three of Coins. One of the things about this new Vedic New Year, it has a name, Vishvavasu, which is a sort of return to Dharma, a return to order. So there seems to be a promise of a higher order and an abundance, a blessing from the goddess, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, the three goddesses, the three forms of the goddess that's worshipped on Navaratri. The goddess has many forms. She has 9 forms, she has 3 forms, she has many forms. And there is the goddess Durga herself. This is the card of strength, the card of fierce power within us to rise above whatever is frightening us or keeping us trapped in patterns of self-sabotage. Let's take a look. Feeling stuck neither here nor there, in between worlds, in a bardo of uncertainty and not seeing a clear way out. Have faith. Opportunities are arising for growth, for development, for abundance, as the goddess always feeds and protects her children. Do the inner work. Trust in your inner voice. You are never actually truly lost at sea. And the boat you are crossing the ocean in is being guided and protected all the way to its destination. Okay, Durga came through. Be sure to check out my Navaratri Cauldron if you're not a member already for the 9 nights to come starting on March 30th. And also check out the Inner Light Jyotish Conference, Jyotish Summit, that's going to be happening next week as well. And be sure to check out my Saturn horoscope class. It's going to be a really critical class to understand how to use the energies moving forward in the next couple of years. The horoscopes will be good for 2 years. And I will see you soon coming up. Take care.